Welcome everyone to another episode of the Guild of Brockheart, brought to you by AED&D. You're here with Bork17, the DM. We have Donnie Danger playing Gale Glavinus, the member playing Gnome Face, and Connervish Blurgan playing Sven. Something Jaw.
Playing Sven.
Birch Jaw. There we go. Sven. We've been off for a couple weeks due to actually I think it's only one, maybe 2 weeks. Yeah. Connervish Blurgan was gone, and then I was gone just before that or whatever. Yeah, that's not that important. But yeah, we are back for another session. To get back into the swing of things, I think. Well, speaking of which, I'll be gone next weekend. I have a Halloween party to go to.
What about next weekend?
I'll be gone, so we'd have to do Wednesday.
All right.
Okay.
Which also, there's a emo night at a beer garden down here that I was supposed to go to, so we were actually supposed to play on Wednesdays this week, but I completely forgot about that and didn't look at my calendar, so I fucked up.
Anyway. Works out for us.
Yeah. I don't think Donnie's and it would have been in any shape to play on Wednesday anyways.
No.
Other than that, I don't see. I'm good until the third week in November, and then we'll have to play Wednesday. Oh, what do you guys want? Do you guys have any idea for Thanksgiving? Do we want to do? I'm pretty sure I'm busy the Wednesday. Do we want to do like a Friday or Saturday session?
I could do Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, Friday or Saturday works.
Either or.
I'm honestly not certain.
Well,
kind of depends on how things go with the kid and what I got to do.
Yeah, that's fair. That's why I thought I'd bring up now. I know that we don't, or I'm not going home, so I'll be around here. It's just in case we had to move it to Wednesday. I'm actually busy that Wednesday, so I won't be able to do that Wednesday. But that's just wanted to throw that out there to start thinking about that. Any other announcements?
Nope.
Hang on, my dog has one. You guys talk.
Irrelevant to D&D, the new season of Diablo 4 just came out. If you want to join me as a clansman or member of the clan, I didn't mean it to sound like that.
Neither one of those sounded great, but I know what you mean.
I'm having a good time. It's about vampires.
I just got Spider-Man, so I'll be playing that this weekend.
Oh, I thought you would have finished that over your shut-in.
My shut-in is tomorrow.
Oh, I thought it happened already.
Nope, well, anyway, tomorrow.
If you ever want to party up, let me know. The season's actually pretty good. They fixed a lot of streamlined a lot of stuff, reworked a lot of things. The game is feeling better. They're slowly but surely fixing a lot of their missteps.
Yeah.
No. And of course, you can get stronger in seasons than you can in the internal realm, because there's always new powers and gimmicks.
Yeah.
The last season was just like broken gems with broken abilities.
Yeah.
This one is just like, it's a little bit less broken, but the game's also been completely, for the most part, rebalanced. So I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I also just got SMT3, Shin Megami Tensei 3, which I'm also going to be playing a little bit more seriously when I'm not doing Diablo. You know about the SMT games, right?
Yeah.
I've heard of them. I don't know anything about them.
Okay, so let me rephrase it. You know about the Persona games, right? Like Persona 5?
I've heard of them. I don't know anything about them.
Okay, so The Persona games, I think, are more popular, but they're technically spin-offs. The SMT games are like technically the mainline games, and the whole thing is kind of like satanic Pokemon. You catch all sorts of mythological demons. They're called demons. There's a little bit more going on with them than that. It's kind of like Japanese yokai sense of demons, where the human belief in something or human emotions give birth to ideas. You know, because people believe in God, or people believe in Odin, Thor, or at least we're aware that they're a thing, they're a concept. It has a form as a demon. So you're kind of catching all these ideas and these concepts and making them fight each other. So that's SMT. I'm playing SMT3.
All right, so I'll be cutting most of that out.
That's fine.
Unless you guys, I'll keep in whatever announcements you guys had. So the thing is, the place that the emo night is at is like 3 blocks away. And now that it's dark out, sound travels better when it's dark out. So now I can actually hear the music right now. It's live music. And like I'm pretty sure it's pointed like technically towards us versus away from us. So, and they have like an amphitheater set up. Oh, you made my ears hurt, Bobby. I'm sitting there and he's barking in my ear. But I thought someone was walking or something, but no, he was just barking because he could hear the music.
No.
Well, if I hear the music coming through, I'll let you know.
Okay, sounds good. I can actually barely hear, like, still hear it through my headphones. Although I need to leave this ear open. Like, he really got my eardrum. Just it was the percussiveness of it.
Oof.
Okay. I'll just have to leave it open a little bit. We're ready to go? You want the recap?
Mhm.
Yep.
Do I remember
Recap
what
us.
the recap is?
Yep.
I do.
Did you write it down?
I did not write it down. Anyone else want to do the recap?
I do.
I mean, we stayed in a town. Let me see if I can find out what we spent.
Okay.
See,
We
hold
cleaned
on.
the beach. We stayed at a hotel finally.
So last time on the Guild of Brockheart, our adventurers finished taking out the fire snakes in the last segment of the Volcano Alley. They continued forth on their adventure, and after about another 3 or 4 hours, they finally exited Volcano Alley with a certain amount of exhaustion, since they were tired stayed up for like 48 hours and barely alive at this point. So they continued forth and they hit a fork in the road, one to continue forward, but to take a right. It was they were about 1,000 feet away from a beach. So they decided to all go to the beach and wash up, clean themselves off from the soot. While they were there and planning to camp out, one of the Smiths, or Mr. Smith, came from talking to one of the fellow people on the beach and informed the group that the village is actually about an half-hour walk along the path if they went back to the path. So with that information, our adventurers decided to continue forth and head on to the city of Ceylon. Once they arrived there, they immediately went straight to the inn, purchased themselves a room, went to the washroom, cleaned up, and passed out. And I believe that's where we ended. We didn't do it in the morning. We might have, but we can just replay the morning.
We didn't do any in the
No, I
morning.
don't think we got the morning. No, we didn't.
We were just happy to find a safe place to sleep and heal up.
Oh.
I think that we were in a position where a pack of hungry enough cats could have probably killed us. Like, I had like 2 HP, 0 MP, Gnome Phase had like no MP. Almost no MP.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked.
One of my knights had like almost no HP.
Maybe you should have slept before you went into Volcano Alley.
Yeah. Maybe we should have. We were like, we'll find a safe place to sleep in Volcano Alley. Don't worry, guys. We don't need to rest beforehand.
Well, you didn't realize it was Volcano Alley until you were too far in, technically.
Yeah, no.
But
We
it didn't look the best. You thought you could just squeeze right through it. Just fly right through it. Little did you know it was a lot longer of a trek than you thought.
yeah.
But yeah. I don't have a map for this one because didn't think you'd be here that long. But anyways, so you're waking up in the morning. You guys can pick whichever order you want to do. So to recap the people, we have Gale and his 2 knights are in a room. Sven and Wilhelm is being taken care of. Sven's in a room. Gnomeface is in a room. And then the people you're escorting are all in a different room.
So for my end, I don't know how early anybody else wants to wake up, but me and my knights, we don't really partake in indulgence. So as soon as we get enough of a long rest to heal up completely, we're pretty much ready to wake up and maybe see if the town needs some help with anything.
Don't forget, you have points of exhaustion, so you might end up sleeping a little longer.
Okay. We'll sleep as long as it takes to get into our best form for the day.
I mean, you guys arrived at town, what, like 5-ish, 6-ish? Are you guys going to wake up in the middle of the night and start checking out? Or are you guys just going to wait till the morning?
Oh, well, if we're dealing with exhaustion, we're going to wait until the morning. We need to be in our best form here, you know?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you guys can decide amongst yourself who wants to get first. Who's going to sleep until noon? Who's going to get up before sunrise? You know, that type of stuff.
Anybody planning on getting up early?
Nope.
No?
I'll sleep a day,
Sleeping
man.
in.
I'll sleep a day and a half.
You guys want to roll for it? See who takes the longest to get out of sleep exhaustion? Like, I don't...
like a D20 plus con?
Yeah, sure, let's do that. Me and my knights have no intention of getting up before we're ready to face anything. That's more important than
I got
a
a
bunch
nat
of other
20.
stuff. Oh. I have a nat 20 plus 5.
Combined, I have a 9. So I think I'll be sleeping for a while.
Let's just say for roleplay purposes, my knights are both going to wake up at the same time. I got an 8 and a 9 for them, each plus 1. Not going to make them roll against you. You just wake up before them, I'll say that. So I'll say I'd probably wake up first, nat 20 plus 5. My knights are pretty beat up. One of them was on the verge of death. I'm going to leave them be.
All right. You exit the room. You go downstairs. There's someone at the front desk, and they inform you, you know, dining room's over there. Take advantage of our breakfast if you'd like. Otherwise, see me when you want to check out.
Breakfast is good. What time is it? Is the sun up yet?
It's just poking up right now. Yeah.
I'll be eating alone this morning. My nights have a lot to sleep off. So I'm going to finish off this breakfast real quick. What kind of breakfast is it? How hearty is it?
It's a typical, like, continental breakfast. It's got a little bit of everything. The easy stuff. It's not as good as if you went to, like, an actual restaurant, but, like, it holds you over.
I'm still thankful for it. It's good. It's refreshing. And I finish off my meal. And I approach the bartender, or innkeep. So thank you for the lodgings and meal, but I am a knight, and I must ask, is there anything troubling this establishment, or the whereabouts surrounding it?
I have a question before we continue. Who are you talking to?
The innkeep.
Oh, the person. Okay. Well, so Manbear also got a net 20, so No Face wakes up pretty early as well, I guess.
Yep. I know I enchanted some on the way here. I'd like to. So I go down for, a breakfast at the inn. When I get to the bar, I order basically breakfast and water, and I ask if they can point me in a direction where I can sell some enchanted weapons.
He goes, I mean, we have a general goods store, but that's about it. This city doesn't have much. Wasn't until till Yes moved in that we actually started getting a lot of traffic. We were just the in between Randu and World's End.
Okay. Well, general goods store isn't going to give me what I want, so I'll have to ponder on this, fair woman. Thank you for breakfast. And I just kind of sit and eat.
He kind of looks at you. He's like, "Okay, you do that. I'll talk to you later."
Oh, he. My bad. I swear you said she.
I don't remember saying either one, but maybe I did. Apologies.
I don't know.
Okay. I was gonna say, when you came downstairs, the front desk person was gonna say the same thing to you that he said he said. Yeah, he said to Donnie Danger or Gale, but you saw Gale and him talking, so then you walked around them. You kind of just jumped from bed to breakfast. So, okay.
Do we and Gnome Face see each other?
I mean, depends upon what your passive perception would be. I know we don't have that as a skill, but like, unless he decides to say something to you, then you were in the middle of a conversation. So, unless your passive perception is like 19, 20, you probably didn't know that he walked past.
Fair enough. Also, I'm really not on high alert right now. Just got done sleeping a lot, and this place seems pretty safe.
Yeah. Okay. Going back to you though. So the front desk worker goes, need anything? Like you'd have to be more specific, sir.
Sealed on in general. Is there any trouble with ruffians harassing the city? Creatures on the shoreline coming up to attack tourists on the beach?
Well, for shoreline, we don't really have a problem with that. The beach isn't here. The beach is, down the road, about a half hour. It's over there. A lot of sea monsters, I guess, and creatures stay away from it because it's right next to Volcano Alley. So, like, they kind of don't want to get too close. Ruffians, not really. Most people are they come through, they're in, they're out, and they may stay the night, but that's about it. Like,
it's refreshing to hear. So there's no troubles about.
No, I mean it's a small town. Like we just, smallish town.
Is there by chance a church or a religious establishment?
Of course. Down, if you take a left when you leave, go to the corner, take a left. It's about a block that way.
Ah, okay. I will visit that place before my knights wake up. See what they're all about.
Good day to you, sir. I'll see you when you're ready to check out.
Yep. Thank you. So I say goodbye, and I make my way according to the directions the innkeep gave me.
Okay, yeah. You walk outside. You notice the sun is barely cresting over. It's still somewhat dark out, like half dark, half light. It's not like twilight. It's more light than that. But yeah, the sun is just coming up. It's super early. Uh, the smell of seawater or salty water, like kind of a mix of both, is flowing across the city or the town. Um, yeah, lights on outside or lights are maybe popping on outside the establishments, but like they still have some time before they actually like open up for business. But yeah, you take a left, you head down to the intersection where um that you recognize. Well, the hotel is like kind of on the corner, so like you didn't have to walk far, and you take a left. But yeah, you recognize the intersection when you came in, and yeah, you head on down the road. Um, the the roads are not like they're not dirt roads, but like they're not pristine like concrete type thing. They're kind of they're well maintained. Um, so you can tell that lots of traffic comes through here.
Kind of like a frontiersy village with good funding.
Yeah, I mean they have a. You can tell that the place has like the town has money coming through it quite a bit, so that they can maintain this stuff. I wouldn't say like cobblestone, but like brick, like the nice brick where everything's like even.
Yeah,
Um,
very quaint. I like it. I appreciate it. I take it in. It's kind of cool.
but yeah, you head on a block down and there's a church, um, and you can head in, not head in, or whatever you want to do.
If the doors are open, I'm gonna walk in.
They are unlocked.
All right, I knock first, and I turn the doorknob. After a few seconds, and nobody answers, I open the door.
Yeah, the place is pretty empty. There's some
Are there
candles
lights on?
lit, so you know someone has been here relatively recently. But
Hello.
you just hear an echo. That's about it.
I step back outside. Was there anybody keeping the? Well, actually, before I step outside, I'm going to do a perception check. There's some things I actually want to investigate, more so out of curiosity than any particular agenda. 17 for perception. I'm looking for religious iconography that I might recognize. Anything like that.
I'd say yeah. So at like has like the windows look like they have art in them, are in on them, and then there's a giant figure at the very end of the aisle, kind of like up on a stage of sorts. Um, you're not too familiar with the religion that this would per se or the person that's up there, but you've definitely seen it before.
Hold on, could you describe the figure to me one more time?
Oh, I didn't describe the figure to you. I just said it's up there.
Oh, there is a figure up there. I think I've seen it from somewhere. Okay.
Yeah, it's large. It's that type of thing.
All right, very interesting. I'm curious what the people around here practice. This is very far from Brockheart, which is why I'm so curious. I want to see if they're practice anything remotely resembling my religion, which revolves around the monarchy. Do they worship their salts? These are the things that I'm kind of curious about.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah.
That being said, there's nobody about. I will take my exit. I'm not going to intrude further. I'm sure there is a sort of gentleman's agreement with the populace. Don't just walk into the deeper reaches of the church. during non-practicing hours. So I take my leave.
I feel like they'd be
Yeah,
less upset if you did that during non-practicing hours than during practicing hours.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm also not a detective, so I'm not going to start sleuthing about.
Fair. All right, yeah. So you exit the church. While that is happening, I will say Knervishblurgen or Sven wakes up and or the knights wake up.
Sven, I'll let you go.
I'm gonna stumble down to wherever breakfast, lunch, dinner, I don't even know where the food is. I'm just stumbling down there because I imagine I slept for, well, what's it been, like 16, 20 hours?
Probably. If you would have rolled like below a 5, I would have made one of the other two wake you up. Real quick, Gnome Face, were you going to be leaving the establishment?
I've decided that since there's nowhere for me to go, I'm actually gonna go like towards the water. I'm guessing they have a dock or a pier or something. And like I'm going to, play around with my water elemental and stuff like that and just kind of chill. It's been a rough couple days and I want to go play with my magic.
Okay. So as you're leaving, Knervishblurgen, you're walking down the stairs like in a like probably like a like 8 out of 10 like or 6 out of 10 like hangover feeling style, like you're just dead to the world, like you're a zombie walking. You see Gnome Face like walking towards the door as you're coming down the stairs. And then you would head into breakfast.
I mean, if there were subtitles, you would see, "Hey man, how's it going?" But the grumbling will be unintelligible. Just, just straight to wherever the breakfast, lunch, or dinner is. At this point, it doesn't matter.
Didn't know if he wanted to talk back to you or not. I'm sure if he heard something like that, he might turn and look at you, but it's up to you guys. Yeah, so you go and by the bar, like they have a menu or whatever, and I'm sure you just like point to whatever looks like sounds good to the server. After a brief minute, they bring it out to you.
Much appreciated.
Man Bear, you exit the establishment. You head left towards the intersection. Likewise with you, you walk out. The sun's more up, a lot more, like the lights are like either we're on or they turning it off or they turn it on to start the day. But yeah, you head to the intersection, and then at this point, if you head straight, there's a giant like we'll say like a parking lot or whatever. It's not actually like it's close to where the water is. You could head that way, or you could go down to the beach. There's no you'd have to look around to see if there's like a dock or per se, but not you can't really see one as of now.
Okay. I kind of just meander that way, and I'm like, a little less rural than I thought it'd be, but that's not a big deal. I kind of ponder off towards the water.
Okay.
Until I get close enough to summon my water elemental.
Yeah, you head straight, and then there like you notice that like that's why the beach was active. The water's like up to the cliff on here, so like you're not going to be putting your feet in the water from here. And then you proceed to summon your water elemental and do whatever the hell you want with it.
I kind of actually spar with him. I pull out my water blade and I just kind of like spar with him, knowing that the water blade can't actually damage him, but I can have some fun, chill, and relax.
Okay. We should go on to the knights.
Oh, okay. Journey and Jackson wake up at about generally the same time. Jones and Jackson.
I'll correct what I said earlier. Because even with you guys not having necessarily said anything to each other, you got Sven, you and the knights rolled a lot lower, so it's probably when you guys leave, it's probably or wake up, it's probably like 8 a.m. versus or 9 a.m. versus when Mamber left the establishment, it was like 6:37. So like the three of you are like quite a bit later.
That checks out.
So I guess knights could wake up, or to Gale, you could wake them up when you come back. I don't. That's up to you.
I feel like Gale's gonna let his knights know what he's about. He's gonna wake them up. He's not gonna surprise them. He's not gonna like leave them hanging while he's chilling at church. He's gonna come back and be like, "Okay, are you guys good yet?" So, yeah, Gale wakes up the knights.
I'll say that you decide to cruise around the small town, whatever is here, and you end up making your way back after like an hour and a half, 2 hours walk. You looking for trouble and you don't see any, and then you make your way back to the establishment, walk up, open the door, and your knights are still passed out.
Oh.
It's like the mom who comes home or who goes up to the kids' room, who's supposed to be getting ready for school, and their kids are just passed out.
Yeah, except those kids got their shit kicked in a volcano.
Details.
I'll let them rest. I guess I'll stir up some small talk with random locals. Ask them, what the local religion is. I'm genuinely curious about this.
I'm actually gonna say you did that while you were out. Like this is the point where you're coming back, and your knights are supposed to be awake by now, because you guys have to leave sometime during daylight, because you have a day's plan. Like you can't let them sleep till 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah, we do also have the families with the caravans with us. I think they're on a timeline too.
But like,
they're just following us.
Yeah, this is the
never
point
really
where
said anything about a timeline.
Yeah, you're escorting them, so they're following your schedule. But that being said, you spent 2 hours walking around town, talking to the locals and stuff. Now's the time to wake people up.
Okay, so with that, I have to ask: did I learn anything?
Are you trying to make me come up with a religion on the spot?
A little bit, yeah.
Sure. You learn that the people of this town practice mortalism. They pray to their god, who is a cross between I was gonna say elephant and a crab, but that does not work. I'll say like an elephant hippopotamus, who's supposed to bring wealth and forgiveness to the people who practice it.
Well, forgiveness. At least he's not making his practitioners shit out gold for wealth.
That wasn't a religion. That was a cult leader, as you guys have said.
Anyways, it's a bit offbeat. I haven't heard anything like that, but when I wake up my nights, I wanted to make us our goal to start preaching about, the Knights Code, just do some Knights presence about town. start talking about the king, the prince. Want to start handing out brochures. Brochures of Brockheart. Come visit Brockheart, the real tourist attraction. I want to start doing that.
You can do that. You're not getting any points for it though.
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, you can spread the good word of Brockheart throughout the town. It takes, but you have to wake your knights up first. You're avoiding this part.
Jones, action.
They don't really respond.
I put my hands on their shoulders. Jones, Jackson! And I start shaking them. Are you ready for duty?
They're startled. They both get up. What's going on? Where's my armor? Don't make me grab my sword. Oh. Hi, Gale.
Yep. Hello, soldiers. Well, we do have duty ahead of us. Thankfully, it is light duty, and I do hope you've rested up adequately.
Oh.
What time is it? They both look like they've been hit by a train.
Seriously, did I wake you guys up early? What time is it?
It's like 9.
It's 9.
They're like, oh, we really overslept, and they kind of like sit up, they're just shaking their head, like, sorry, boss. Sorry, sir. We'll get ready right away. That took it out of us.
Damn right, that's the spirit, soldiers. Let's get ready to spread the good word of Brockheart. This is a peaceful village. Things are good here, but they could be better. We've got to let them know the Brockheart way. You know the drill. We're going to start handing out brochures and reading some of the scriptures.
Is anybody else getting culty vibes from Gale?
No, I'm just talking about the time the king cast down all the goblins and bandits and proclaimed himself a god. The good stuff.
I don't remember that part of the scripture, but Carverspling, did you say something? I don't think I heard you.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, you bring the knights down, or you leave and wait for them for breakfast. But around this time, like Gale or Sven, you'd be leaving if you so wish, or going back to your room, grabbing Wilhelm, whatever you decide.
Yeah, I'll be asking for some expired pastries for my traveling companion. Whatever they've got will be fine.
The server's like, oh, we have the day old, like, day old bread stuff. Like, it's in the. I could go see if there's anything left over. We haven't really tossed it yet. We normally clear that stuff out, halfway through breakfast. He kind of leans in. He's like, we generally use the bread for croutons.
Whatever you weren't gonna use, whatever didn't get picked clean at breakfast. Or I'll buy fresh, but I suppose we wouldn't mind waiting a day. Yeah, a Danish, whatever.
Let me go ask the chef what's back there. After some time he comes back, has a nice giant tarp thing. He's like, or he like shows you from like the door, gets your attention, and he points like, I'll hand it to you out back. Like, don't want to really bring this through the. Kind of signifies like, come either through the door or go around back.
I'll go around back. And on the way back there, I'll pick up Wilhelm and bring him with let him pick what he wants. He knows better than I do.
Yep. You go back there and the guy brings out a tarp, kind of like lays it down, or like a burlap sack, kind of like just dumps it out, like puts it on the ground, and Wilhelm goes, picks out starts eating a bunch, picks out some other stuff, put it on the side, and puts the ones he don't want to eat on the side. Kind of kicks a little dirt on them, be like, yeah, that whole thing. But yeah, I'd say you're doing that. Gail, you're bringing the knights down for breakfast.
They gotta eat up.
Do you guys have anything particular you want to do before we start off the day? I mean, you all have to find a way to reconvene at some point, but
no, we're just gonna kind of like bomb the church with brochures and
oh yeah, you're leaving and spreading the cult. I mean, the your religion's information. Also, likewise, you're gonna have to find a way of getting back. So you guys think about that. I'm gonna use the bathroom quick, and be back in 5.
So the big thing for me is like, what do these guys worship? I had to make sure they didn't worship their sultans, because then it would be an international incident if I started trying to preach, the scriptures of Brockheart here. They worship some sort of weird crab elephant god. I don't know what that's all about.
I mean, it's not weirder than Blibdoolpool.
Libdolpool?
Yeah, the god of the Kuotoa.
I don't know what that is. Are they bird people?
Kuotoa are like weird fish frog people. And they're all crazy, and that's their superpower.
Oh,
But,
are they like kind of like the psychic aliens from Dragon Ball Z Abridged? I can see the future.
Sorta, except like they have latent psychic abilities that can make things real if enough of them believe in the same thing. But their god is this like lobster-headed lady that's just like crazy looking shit. Cool.
Okay, so their god may not have even existed in the first place, but it may have been like a product of their collective belief.
For sure.
That's pretty nuts. I dig that shit.
Now we gotta see if they're all Kuotoa in masks.
Oof.
That'd be great.
Oof. I don't think Dan's really thought that far ahead.
Yeah, and there's no real polite way to try and pull someone's face off.
Yeah. See, I gotta look at my inventory real quick. See if I have a finite number of brochures, or if it's just like a thing that I can just pass out willy nilly. It's kind of just been a thing. Do we have one Bible and one handbook of Knights Tales? And the Bible, it's not called anything else. It's called the Bible. Bible of Brockheart. It's about the king and the prince. So I mean, a little culty maybe.
You've made that all yourself.
I'm cool with it. I like the direction.
It's supposed to be, have full confidence in your leadership, and then you're like, this is the best religion out there. I'm gonna tell it to everyone.
I gotta get weird with it. You know I do.
So yeah, we have Gale and the 2 knights out, giving up brochures. We have Gnome Face sparring with his water elemental at the cliff. We have Sven grabbing food for Wilhelm, and the Smiths and Johnsons. I forget the other one.
Hold on, 1 second. I got him in here. The Michaels.
I was thinking Mitchell's for just a second. Smith and Michael's waiting at the inn. Oh, outside the inn.
Right. Should be a pretty short day.
How are you guys going to reconvene?
Smith and Michaels are waiting at the inn, right? They have all the inns and caravans with them.
Their stuff is in. Yeah, they're all ready to go.
All right. All me and the knights are people of duty, so we're gonna make this quick. We're just gonna pass out some brochures, read some quick scriptures. Let people know the good word. We're not missionaries here, though we may not let the kingdom know that this could be a good place to send some. But we're just gonna, kind of just let people know about, Brockheart.
Overnight,
everything
Gale turned himself into a conquistador.
A little bit. Crime rate's low in Brockheart. No monsters about. Peace is aplenty. So as well. People are happy. Things are good. Hey, visit Brockheart if you have time. It's just as good a tourist attraction as any other, sealed on included.
I'm
Give it a
getting
look.
less conquistador vibes and more Jim Jones vibes.
Maybe.
No. If you bring up Kool-Aid, I'm going to banish you to the Shadow Realm.
I'm not going to say drink the holy water, but it is kind of sweet. I'm going to throw that out there.
Almonds. It's great.
So yeah, fellas, people of Sealdon, hear the good word, know of it. And it is good. And things can be better in Brockheart. Check it out. Yeah.
Okay, so
that's about it.
While I was gone, you were supposed to come up with how you're going to get back to the inn. Not monologue you dishing up brochures.
We make it pretty quick. We head back to the inn without wasting too much time, so I don't think that's too much of an issue.
All right, fine. Y'all roll. Whoever rolls the lowest gets back first. Actually, all the way around.
I mean, Wilhelm can only eat so much. As soon as he's had his fill and picked out his breakfast for tomorrow, I'll head back to the front of the inn.
Well, I just need to find time.
I'm rolling mine for me and the knights. I'm not adding mods because we're all traveling together.
All right.
And we are.
So someone's going to have to come get you.
Maybe, yeah. We rolled a 4.
I'll say wisdom modifier if you have one.
I do. So that would be an 8.
Can both of you roll? I just want to see who.
My second roll is a 13.
No, yours is an 8. I'm wearing the other 2.
Plus wisdom?
Yeah.
10.
Well, you do make it back before Gale. If that was the goal. Man Bear.
I mean, I feel like it should be based on
Yeah.
Wilhelm's.
What am I rolling? Sorry.
Score.
What am I rolling?
You could do that too. D20 with wisdom. We're seeing how soon you get back to who gets back to the inn first or not.
7 plus 5, so I got 12.
It's your dead last.
Okay.
Okay.
No, he's first actually. No, wait, second.
Oh, really?
No, wait, Sven did a 10.
We're doing it reverse, right? I forgot.
Wait, what?
Wilhelm got a 3.
Was that his constitution modifier on that one?
Constitution as a standard goat. I'm assuming he's a standard goat. Is a +0.
Fair.
So I don't think he ate a whole lot of pastries.
Nah, maybe about a third of them. Okay, so yeah, so no face. You're sparring with your water elemental. You lose track of quite a bit of time. All of a sudden, you're looking. You're like, the sun is awfully high in the sky. We probably should get going. And you head on back to the inn. When you
Okay.
get there, you see the Smiths and the Michaels waiting outside in like the front, with the valet and loading and unloading areas or kind of thing. Like they're waiting to hit the road. Like they got all ready up and is waiting on their escorts to be before they leave.
Sorry, what? Say that again.
The Smiths are out front waiting for their escorts by the time you get back to the inn.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
About noon now. 11-ish.
Okay.
Actually.
I look at him and I go, "How's it going, guys? Gail's the one who volunteered to, save you, so he'll be back in a bit. I'm gonna go get some lunch."
Coming, guys.
Okay. Yep. You head on in. One of them actually accompanies you to grab some stuff to go. And you head on to the kitchen or whatever. They have some
The
small
dining area?
Yeah. Or are you going in inside the inn or not?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. You go in and to the kitchen, to the bar, dining area, whatever. And yeah, the server comes to you. They have very basic stuff, soups, BLT, that type of stuff. Nothing extravagant.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Smith orders a bunch for the rest of them outside, and he goes to he's like I'll meet you outside when the food's ready. You can order whatever food you want or whatever.
Yeah, I just ordered something basic. Don't want to spend my money. I just want something to eat, kind of chill.
Yeah. Then Sven would be the next one to show up. But he just walked away. Dun-dun-dun. I was kind of hoping that he was going to be literally coming back at that time. That's too much to hope.
Any minute now.
Guys, zoom tight.
Yeah, that's been happening.
All right, Sven, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you make your way back around. You see the caravan with all of them except Mr. Smith are out front waiting to head on out.
All right. I mean, assuming Wilhelm's good to walk, I'm good to go.
Yeah. That's the yeah.
I mean, even
I
if he's
guess.
not, I can pull him in the cart. We take turns.
No, he's fine. But like, is that it? You looking for? You wonder where the rest of your party is or whatever?
Oh, they're not there?
No, the only people who are there are the people you're escorting, minus Mr. Smith. Like it's about 11 a.m.
Okay. I ask Wilhelm if he knows where Gale is. Maybe he can track him down. I don't know. I don't really have any leads. I mean, I suppose I could talk to one of these NPCs and see if they know, but like that's not my first thought. My first thought is like, come on, Wilhelm, you know Gale. Go find Gale. I'll unhook the cart and I'll follow him.
I want this to work. I mean, roll a d20. Let's.
It's not gonna be great. Are we
This.
gonna go based on intelligence or wisdom?
I was thinking intelligence, honestly.
Oh, buckle up. Okay. Hey, that's not bad. That's an 8.
He walks to the intersection, and he kind of like looks around, and you can tell he's smelling something. And then he takes a left, starts walking down the block. It's about halfway there. Turns to the right, and he starts eating this bush of flower, like this, like hedge, which is blooming right now. There's flowers all over the place of it. And he's just snacking of it.
Yeah. Okay, buddy, you gotta focus. Gotta find Gale. You know Gale. Look at me. Look me in the eyes. You know who Gale is. Focus.
He's looking at you, and he's chewing. And at this point, you hear someone like talking, like not shouting, but can't think of the word, talking loudly to spread information. And you hear terms like Brockheart and King Albert further along on the road. You look up and you see what can only be Gale and his 2 knights.
I knew it would work. I always believed in you, Wilhelm.
Wilhelm just continues to eat the flowers on the bush.
That's fine. He's earned it.
But yeah, they're over there.
Hey, Gale, aren't we supposed to be going somewhere?
Oh, yeah. I must have lost track of the time. I got a bit carried away. You know how it is. The brochure is very, it's got a lot of compelling material. And let people know about some of the stuff that they've been missing out on.
It's a page turner.
It really is. Truer words.
We have a flight to catch.
Of course.
Who could make a 3-fold pamphlet that much, that in depth?
It's like a Mobius strip. It just keeps unfolding.
King Albert and Prince Jeremiah.
There is no end. It is all pamphlet.
It is all pamphlet. Truer words. Sven, I'm sorry to keep you all waiting. We do get carried away at times. I do get carried away. I apologize. Let us be on our way.
An infinite quantity of non-Euclidean pamphlets. This is taking an eldritch turn.
They take up no space and they have limitless pages.
Right.
I love it.
I'm gonna grab Wilhelm and follow you all back to the inn. By the way, have you seen Gnome Face?
He's not here already.
I'm at the inn.
You're inside the inn. Everyone else is outside the inn.
Oh, gotcha.
When he showed up, you and Mr. Smith were currently inside.
Okay, Wilhelm. You worked this out before. You can do it again. I know this.
Maybe he's training by the beach. He's trying to squeeze in some grind sessions on the down low.
I believe in Wilhelm. Wilhelm found you. He'll find Gnome Face.
Okay, I'll leave it to Wilhelm.
Well, it's
me and the.
I would say you guys made it back to the inn, the outside the inn, and this time you see. The only one you don't see is Gnome Face. Mr. Smith is back, who you didn't see earlier, Sven, when you were here earlier. But so continue. You can continue with what you're doing, but that's my help to you.
I'm gonna use my trusty tracking goat. This time within 11.
Tracking goat.
He walks up to Mrs. Smith and kind of like headbutts him, just and turns and looks at you.
It's Mr. Smith, buddy. We're looking for Gnome Face. Congrats on finding someone, but like, try again, bud.
Say Mrs. Smith overhears you talking to Wilhelm because Wilhelm is literally standing next to him. And Mrs. Smith is like, yeah, Gnome Face is inside having lunch.
Well,
What?
Wilhelm
Sorry.
led us to the guy with the information. Once again, a job well done.
About this time, so like, yeah, Mrs. Smith, in the time you were out searching for Gale, Mr. Smith came back. He handed out the food for everyone else. And about this time is when Gnome Face would be walking out to, I guess, look for you guys. If he is or not. I don't know what were you planning on doing after lunch?
I was gonna wait for them to show up.
Inside or outside?
Inside, where it's comfortable.
Okay, never mind that. Yeah, that's the last you heard. Mrs. Smith tells you, yeah, when I last saw him, he was inside ordering lunch.
I mean, sounds like case closed. Scooby Goat. Let's check inside the inn.
Okay, who's going to go get him?
I'll check. I'll just take a walk over to the inn.
I'll go in with Gale.
All right, so the two of you walk in. You walk to where the food is, and you see Gnome Face in there. Or unless Gnome Face decided to go out to the lounge area to digest.
Nah, chilling.
Hey, come on out here. We're ready to move on.
Yeah. I kind of wipe my face and drop 5 Floyds on the bar, thanking them for their food, and I walk out.
Excellent. Yeah, so you all are finally reconvened in front of the inn about, I don't know, 11:30, noonish around now. Yeah, you guys reconvene in front of the inn, ready to continue the adventure.
On our way to, what was it, Land's End? Coast Edge?
You don't know.
Waterline?
Even meta-wise, you don't know.
All right.
You guys just know that you were coming to here to take whatever transit system across the water since you can't go by boat. That's the overall reason why you're here.
Onwards to greener pastures, then.
Onwards.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys walk to the intersection, and who knows where they're headed?
I just heard what the coastline looked like. We were heading we're heading eastward, right?
When you enter town, you're heading west. Do any of you know where the transit company is? Did any of you ask that?
No.
Following them.
We could ask for directions.
Well, anywho, because it's not obvious here. Someone roll perception check, or all of you roll perception check. We'll make this fun.
Yeah, clearly I'm lost because I thought we were heading eastwards.
9.
Okay, spend 15.
17.
17. Okay. Yeah. So Donnie and Gale, or Gale and Sven would see this. you see a sign like, so you're facing north as you come out of the inn. You came in from the east side, headed west. Looking north, like where you could see the water from where you're at, and there's a whole bunch of flying animals. And on the sign, it says, Yellow Seed Expedited Service. So you think that that's a good place? That's what you're looking for.
Kind of spot on.
You guys never knew the name of it, so no one knew the name of it. They just knew of it.
Weird. Do you think word would spread a little bit more clearly?
I mean, what are you going to talk about? The name of a company or the company that has hippogriffs and pegasi?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would have a lot of renown. It's kind of crazy, honestly.
Anywho,
Anyway,
yeah, you guys head forward. You walk. No face. This is where you were earlier. You were just here before they opened. But yeah, you walk forward. And like there's some like holding areas that there's just like a bunch of carts, not manned type of thing. They're just like they look like they're being stored there. You walk forward and there's a kiosk with the person behind it, as normally there is at the entrance. Who wants to do the talking?
With a person?
I'll let No Face take this one. I'm kind of lost right now.
Yeah, so you walk in, there's like a driveway, and you have storage areas on the left and right, and then there's like a gate, and there's someone at the gate, like a ticket person or whatever, that you have to walk through, essentially.
Okay. Well, to tap the podium, get my prompt.
Can you try that once again? You kind of stuttered in my headset.
I'm sorry. I said I walk up to the kiosk and I tap it and wait for my prompt.
You get a prompt on your screen that says "Please wait." The rest of you get a prompt, on your screen that says like, "A member of your party has entered a cutscene. Join them?" ? And you have yes or no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With confusion, I respond yes.
So all of you see the same thing. It's, standard cutscene. You see like birds or whatever, like a bird eye view, or well, not necessarily, but like a camera flying with the birds. I'm thinking like, what is it, like Final Fantasy X as you approach like the whatever that field is with all the games or whatever, Calm Lands or whatever. Like you fly, or even 13 when you like actually like walk out and you see all the, like when it's an overview of like the world in front of you, but like
Rand Pulse.
Sure. Yeah, so like it's a camera flying above with the birds and that, and you see a like hippogriff on one side, a Pegasus on the other side, flying like next to you and then flying off. And it's the words are like, "Welcome to Yes, your Yellow Seed aerial delivery system and taxi service," or not taxi service, transport service across Yellow Sea, the sea, or Yellow Sea, the sea and the strait. We are very excited to, we're very excited for you to be patrons of ours and to experience the fine world of aerial traveling via the wonderful hippogriffs or pegasi that we have to offer. Please just follow the rules and everything will be good and everything will be safe. Don't be attacking the animals. They are trained and will drop you at a moment's notice. But until then, we inspire, whatever. We wish to be your one-stop shop or your solution to any travels across at any points of around the Yellow Sea. And you get brought back. As you know, as the camera flies around Yellow Sea, the Strait, back, and it's very cinematic. The rest of you, that's it for you, Gnome Face. You come back to talking to the NPC, like, oh, welcome to Yellow Sea Expedited Service, or yes for short. How may I help you today? What traveling needs do you need today?
I want a hippogriff, I say without even waiting.
We will see if we have one available. Generally, we should, but yeah. Are you traveling alone, sir?
No, got a group, but yeah, I don't really care about them too much.
Oh, great, cool.
The person goes, oh, okay. Well, the kind of a little lost for words. So, but yeah, so a single person travel across. It's 2,000 Floyds for a one-way trip. Oh, sorry. No.
Steep. Bit steep.
It's 1,500 for a single person. Sorry, or for a single being.
Is there a discount for multiple people?
I mean, for a hippogriff or a Pegasus, it's a 2-person flight. We do have okay, no, it is 2. Hang on, my math is right. She says, yeah, we do have bulk shipments if in case your people are carrying like crates or carts, if you need to transport those. That can also accommodate 8 to 10 people.
Okay. I'll just pay for myself, I say, and I hand over the 1,500 Floyds.
She goes, thank you, sir. And if you're ever, we're still looking for investors. We're currently only, where are you traveling from or traveling to? And the map pulls out, and like, you can tell it's made for future because like the only option right now is from Sealden to Holden. I did not realize that those were okay. It's Sealdan and Holden. But then you have like there's a whole bunch of other options where one is Yellow Seed, one's Randu, one's Alexandria, one's Croteth. They're all like labeled future on the map. But the only option right now is to Holden. So it's just confirming that you're traveling.
I guess
to Holden.
I'm going to Holden, I say, and I push the button on the map.
You do that, and she goes, okay, perfect. 1 ticket to Holden, and she hands you a ticket.
Sweet hippogriff. I walk over and I go, your guys' turn, I say with a smile.
Yeah, thanks for that, no face.
Well, you don't know what happened there.
Oh.
You don't know any of that. All you saw was the cutscene, and then the woman hands her a ticket. Also, before you leave, the woman at the register is like, and she goes, thank you very much. She hands you a ticket. She's like, and we are still looking for investors. So if you or anyone you know of would like to help or would like an investment opportunity, we are trying to expand very rapidly and could use some help. We please call like contact blah 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 for more information. It's kind of like a not a fine print, but kind of like a PSA, like PS, we are blah 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 blah, and then you walk away. That was gonna be like right before you walked away, but yeah. So it's yeah. Who wants to go?
I'll go next. So I'm with Knights of Brockheart. Are there any diplomatic arrangements that could be made for us? We don't have very deep pockets.
Uh, weird way of starting the conversation.
I don't know where to start here. This is weird.
How do you start if you're hiring a caravan? Do you just say? Do you just walk up, say, "Hey, I'm broke. I don't have money. Can you spot me one?"
I mean, other places had discounts for the Knights. I thought I'd open with it because I mean, okay. Apparently,
no, I'm just giving you shit.
Okay.
I can work with it. I was just you just threw me for a loop. Yeah, the woman goes, we have reached out to Brockheart. We don't have a direct contract with them because they are not like coastline to Yellow Sea. But I believe that or they have used us in the past. So I will be sending with you a bill, and you will have to present this to the whoever, like your bills payable.
Hey.
Yeah. So.
Kind of knight captain or something, I assume. Anyways, could that arrangement include? Actually, before I go any further, I look towards the Michaels and the Smiths. I say, "How are you guys doing financially?"
They respond, well, we don't have much. Everything we had was in the bandit camp. Yeah.
Could that arrangement include a sort of charity route? We are trying to transport these disenfranchised folk across to the other continent as well.
Are you talking the Smiths or the person?
I turn around. I talk to the employee.
Let's backtrack here, sir. Where are you headed, and how many people are you looking for? And the map pops up, and it like, okay, sealed in to hold in, and you see all the other options like Gnome Face did, where it says future on them. But there's only one path currently available here. You click on that, and then it says traveling solo or duo, or like up to 2 people. It's one price, and then it's labeled for like 2 people per whatchamacallit, per animal or transport vessel, we'll say. And then they also have for 5,000 Floyds, it's you can carry 2 carts and up to like 10 people or up to 10 people on the same one. It's more of a caravan style, like aerial caravan versus just you riding the animal.
That one sounds perfect. Before we get into destination, that is the transport route I think we're going to need because Sven, right? You included that makes 10. I don't know if Wilhelm would make that 11. I don't know how big Wilhelm is.
I mean, Wilhelm and I can probably split something.
Should just be 4, 5, 6, 7, including Wilhelm.
You could join us.
That works.
It's kind of funny, this could have fit another person in, but Gnome Face already bought his ticket.
The woman goes, just so you know, the total will be 5,000 Floyds. If you go, we'll have to check the weight. If you go over, there'll be a penalty. but just so we get the paperwork order, how many bodies or how many adults that will be like you can like walk around a little bit, and how many carts type of thing.
Okay, so I'm not entirely clear on this. We got me and my 2 knights. That's 3 right off the bat.
Oh shit! I
Sven and
forgot we're 2
Wilhelm.
nights.
Yeah,
Oops. Okay, go ahead.
Sven and Wilhelm. Not sure how you're processing Wilhelm, and Sven's pretty small. Michaels and Smiths. I believe they're both 3-person families, man, wife, and child, right?
The childs can go in the caravan, so they, as long as they stay in the caravan, they're fine. It's just people who'd be like walking on the platform.
So that's at least 6 basically people who need room to move around.
Okay, so 6 people. Any carts?
Just the one. Oh, I suppose the Smiths and Michaels taking theirs.
Yeah, do you guys have anything important there?
Not me.
They look to you, they're like, this is all we have left.
Yeah, we got 2 carts.
The other stuff that we had is back at the band camp.
Yeah, I figured. Okay, we got at least 2 carts. What about you, Sven? Is that also a cart?
No, the Michaels and the Smiths share a cart.
Oh, they share a cart. Okay, I thought they each had their own.
No,
Okay,
the
so
other
we
one
got
was
2.
taken by the bandits.
Oh shit. All right. Yeah, we got 2 carts.
So, okay, 2 carts, 6 bodies. Yeah, that should fit. We'll just have to make sure we weigh you just to see if we need any additional aerial support. Otherwise, the standard 4 should be fine. She goes, you have more than just a ticket that like Gnome Face walked up with. You have like a whole like printout or whatever. She's, rolls it up, puts a little bow on it. She's like, bring this to the part, whatever, the loading master or whatever, and they will fill out the rest of the information. I will need your signature on this paperwork, and this is just saying that you will bring this bill to Quotith, and or not Quotith, Brockheart, and we will expect payment from them regarding this invoice.
All right, and how much was the invoice payment? 5,000?
Currently 5,000. We'll let you know for sure the final product, our final cost once we finish weighing everything.
Okay, and you mentioned a docking master. Is that someone on this side of the continent or the other side?
She points back to the person. She's like, it's the person that you talk to when you load up.
Ah.
Never spoken. You were going to say something?
Yeah, before we leave, I was gonna ask, just let's say hypothetically someone's a nervous flyer. They wouldn't happen to sell anything for them, would they? I've been meaning to look around for herbal antidotes to anxiety. Just something to sedate Wilhelm so he doesn't lose his absolute mind.
Such an attentive partner. I love it.
She says, we do have these capsules. They're like powdered, like pressed into this little thing. You can either take the capsule yourself. I prefer to drop it in a little bit of a flask of water and shoot it that way. It's supposed to take the edge off. We charge $10 for these, or 10 Floyds for these.
I'll take 50.
50.
Yeah. That'll be 500 Floyds.
Yes. Am I adding this to the invoice?
Oh no, I'll handle this. And I hand over 500 Floyds.
Okay. You can put 50 units of Gemidine in there. Wait,
I don't know how
Dramamine. Sorry.
Oh, Dramamine. Okay, well, I don't know how long the flight is, so yeah, just in case.
Just appreciate. I could just imagine the eyebrow raise I would get giving the invoice to the quartermaster. 50 bottles. Yeah, we need
Just
to pay.
50 tablets.
Just
50
tablets.
tablets. All right.
But yeah. So after you sign Gale and you finish your transaction, you guys are ready to head on to the loading stations.
All right. Is everybody ready to go? Nothing left to do here? Fellas?
Sounds about right.
I'm set.
Yeah, so the no face gets peeled off early, and the rest of you start headed down the ways further to where you see like a group of 4 Pegasi all together. And in between them, like, or like they're not like at the they're not at the edge. They kind of like there's a whole group of them like in a row behind you, or like at it's a couple steps away. What's in front of you is actually like a large platform that has like some cables and stuff sticking out. So as you guys, we'll start with Gnome Face. Yeah, so you guys start walking, and there's a group transit on one side and solo / couple transit on the other side. And Gnome Face, you end up following down that route. You walk a little bit, you show your ticket to the quartermaster, and they're like, all right, I see we have a solo traveler here headed to Holden. Says a preference.
Yep. Hippogriffs.
You want a hippogriff? He kind of cruises, kind of like, oh yeah, we got one over there, and he walks you over to it. He's like, do you need help up? Not assuming that you can't jump up yourself, but like,
yeah, I need help.
Okay, he kind of like wheels over this staircase so you can walk up and sit on it.
I do so.
Prior to that, he requests that you put on this harness. It just goes through the legs, over the shoulders, and it attaches at a 5-point in the middle. You are still there. All right. Do you push the harness on?
Yeah.
Okay. You put the harness on. And then he wheels over the steps. You walk up, climb on the back of the hippogriff. There's a big ring that you may have or may not have saw behind you. He hooks one side, like ties one side of that to the hippogriff. And he goes, okay. If at all points, all right, here's the deal. You're going to go up. You're going to fly high. You're going to go forward. You're going to come in. You're going for landing. There's a handhold in front of you. If you want to scream, yell, you can do so. If you need to hold on to something, hold on to that. If you start plucking feathers, he will get mad. If you start grabbing too tight, play it carefully. You might be able to hug it. But the moment you start, like, if you hurt it at any form, it is trained to like resist you, and if you persist, it will throw you off and cut the cord.
Okay.
As long as you're cooperative to it and knows it has a mind of its own, it knows where it's going, it'll get you there. Just hold on tight.
Sounds good.
Don't stand up. Don't do anything crazy like that. If you do fall off, you're in the middle of the ocean. It's just going to carry you to the nearest, or till you get to land. You're strapped in. You're not going anywhere. If you fall off accidentally, it'll keep you attached, and you'll probably just hang there for the rest of the trip.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, just don't hurt it. Then your ride will be fine. Hold on tight.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
All right. Have at it. With a big smack on the butt, the thing kind of like jumps, pulls out its wings, flaps real good, and jumps off the cliff. And you kind of like do like a 3-second free fall as it like pulls its wings back up, and then just a big flap and extend, and then you kind of like do like a nice little swoop, go upward, and then it starts flapping and you start flying even higher.
Nice.
Meanwhile, you guys, the group, you are just getting together, and I mean, you may or may not have saw Gnome Face fly off, but you see a whole bunch like coming in and out at the same time. Yeah, they walk all of you to the end, and they're like, okay, so we're gonna have to load the carts first, and then get the people on afterwards. Any small children we request go in the cart and stay in the cart. For the best you can. Granted, they might get restless. That's fine, but we prefer the small children to stay in the cart. They get over to where the like kind of platform is, and you can see that it actually has sides that fold up. So yeah, it looks now like one like big platform. It's like double like structured on the bottom, walls that pop up, and one wall that's on the like still folded down. And they ask you to back the carts up. The one care from the other group is a little bigger, so you're all gonna be like in one corner. Like if you break it into a big square, one cart is like on one side. I'm assuming Sven and Wilhelm's cart, it's like half the length of it, so it's gonna be like in the back, and then the most of the air space that you can walk is in front of that. Granted, you do have room around the sides and stuff, so you're not cramped. Yeah, so you guys back the carts in. They're like, okay, last chance. Y'all good? If you once we put this cart up, we're gonna attach you guys, and you're on your way.
Meta, did I have any business with the quartermaster docking us here?
Sorry. He does request the paperwork from you so he can fill out the weight.
Here's the paperwork.
While this is all going on, since I have the tablets, I took one of them and I've been crushing it up, mixing it with a binding agent, pine tar, what have you, and coating a blow dart with it. So I can accelerate it with mana, and sort of just when Wilhelm's not looking, just sink one into him.
Okay, you do that. That's yeah. So we'll just say while Gail's talking to the quartermaster, all of a sudden you hear Gail just kind of like, "Oh!" However goats make like startling sounds or whatever.
I mean, I imagine
They scream.
by now.
Yeah, screams. But yeah, so you hand him the paperwork. You guys all, the group of you, end up like walking onto that. You see him fill out some paperwork or like some information on that one and his personal one. Like he has a piece of, a roll that he keeps, and then he fills it on that one, hands it back to you, or ties it up, hands it back to you. And then then they go and they put up the last side of this like crate with the top off. But like it's low enough that you and the knights can see out of it. Sven can see out of it if he sits on top of Wilhelm, or if you're on top of the carts, like the carrot. Yeah, you can see it. To go see outside. But yeah. Any last words?
I just gotta admire the insanity of this contraption. It's carried by 4 Pegasi.
Well, you're about to find out. Yeah. Yeah. So you guys all get in. They bring up the last side. They secure it. And you see like these big ropes and cables or whatever. And then they bring over the 4 Pegasi who were just chilling there. These ones look massive. Like, Gale, you're up to their shoulder.
Ooh.
Like they're big boys. You guys hook on to, like, they take these two. There's for each corner there's 2 ropes, and they hook it onto like the top and the bottom, or the 2 sides of the Pegasi. So one on the close side, one on the far side, and the 4 corners. And they're like, "All right, everyone, if you can either cover your eyes, hold your breath, or do whatever makes you feel safe. But you're about to take liftoff." And at that moment, they kind of look. You all look in. They're like, "Okay," and he makes a really loud sound, like a distinct sound, and all 4 of them in unison, or Pegasi in unison, like start like flap their wings like a preloading like flap. It's a small one, and then an even bigger one, and you feel the same thing that like Numbface felt. Like they lift off, and you feel the entire cart like slide forward and then drop. And so you guys feel like a free fall of like 3 seconds as well, but everyone drops, and they like did it just so that they can tighten the cables well enough. But then as you drop, you feel yourself get like caught and pulled out in very smooth action, and you guys just start rising to the sky.
I like it.
And yeah, so all of you, so Gnome Face is quite a bit a ways ahead of you. It's a lot slower taking the big caravan, but yeah, you guys are now currently flying probably or not necessarily as high as the volcanoes, but you're flying into like where you're just below the clouds, if not in the clouds, depending upon if there's clouds that day. You all look down and around, and you can see Yellow Sea off in the distance. You can see where like the land formations are, and the darkness of Volcano Alley. You can actually, if you look close enough, you can see around it to like Randu area and stuff where you can grab the where you grab the survivors. And looking forward, very off in the distance, to the north, or opposite side of Tornado Valley, Gale, you do see like the mountain range that you've seen so many times up close that you're overwhelmed with emotion, because it's one thing to like see like walking up to Brockheart with the mountain range around it, like, but to see it from this distance and in this beauty, it's like you're overcome with emotion at this point.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
You can't necessarily pick out Brockheart, but you can see the mountain range in the distance. No Face, for you, there's a little. Well, actually, Sven, you would notice a little bit too. So, yeah, the travel itself takes probably like 6 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, like that. So you're gonna arrive pretty late in the day. But while you're flying and you get closer or whatever, the 2 of you do recognize, you can see it off in the distance, and it's the tutorial town. Sven, we haven't dealt much with you with it, but Gnome Face, it kind of brings back when you first started, or I mean, for both of you, it brings back when you first started in this world and you first loaded into the game.
Mm-hmm.
and the feelings of excitement, and it just all of that comes back to you, and you're like, oh, that's where it all started. And we're gonna cut it there.
Okay.
Oh, I just get an okay. I put all my heart and soul into all that work, and I just get an okay.
I mean, I like it.
Despicable.
I like it quite a bit.
But no, yeah, so that's yes. That Yellow Seed expedited or expedited express service.
Stretch of a yes.
Yes. Acronym of yes.
It's a very loaded yes. I was not expecting you to go with that. Welcome to yes.
I mean, I was trying to think of how to say. Initially, I was trying to think of how to have it be Yeppers.
Oh.
But that's too many letters. I could get Yepper or something, but I couldn't quite get all the letters, and I'm like, all right, yes, it is.
Just Yellow Seed Expedition Service. Expedited service.
Yeah, that's
not
right.
expedition.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's either express or expedited. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so you guys finally have made it to the Hippogriffs and set on off, and you are currently airborne. Next session we are gonna start with you guys arriving in Holden. And going from there. You're not quite to Brockheart. You have a couple different paths of going there. And that's up to you, actually.
Okay.
I did like the way you narrated the drop off right before the cords cut taut, and then we actually start flying. You ever jumped out of an airplane?
I have not. I do want to, though.
Kind of like that, you know, depending on what kind of parachute you're using. We used one that's attached to the top of the airplane when we were jumping out. So there'd be a cord attached to your back from the back of your pack. So you would jump out.
And it hit the rails and it just flew off type of thing?
Kind of. It'd be your own body weight pulling on the parachute cord that would actually activate it. So for like a good second and a half, it'd feel like you're just free falling, and then you feel like a tug on your back as everything pulls taut, and the parachute just gets pulled out of your backpack.
Yeah, the inspiration on that one was literally like jets taking off an aircraft carrier. Because they get like their engines ramp up and whatever, and they start moving, but they actually get slingshot or slung off of it via like a slingshot. And anytime a jet takes out, versus not a Harrier that will vertical lift off, but anyone that goes forward, they always have like, if you watch any videos of it, like they pretty much the top of the vessel ends up being lower than the runway that they took off, because there's not enough time for the thrust to catch up. Yeah. And then by the time the engines actually catch up, like they're kind of just like not skimming off the water, but like close enough.
They're almost falling a little bit before they take off. I shot our missile launcher system kind of like that too. Javelin missile launcher, the whole thing is the missiles are supposed to fly up and then fly down, hit the target from the top. So it's kind of cool. It's crazy when you shoot them, because it almost looks like it's a dud for like a fucking fraction of a second. It's just kind of like poop.
Yeah, while you're waiting for like those are solid fuel, right? Or are they liquid fuel? Because you're waiting. I'm not sure what color. You're waiting for the activation of the fluid, because it should get shot out, and you're waiting for the activation of the fluid before it has the propulsion, right?
I don't know about the technicalities, but it's pretty crazy to actually see it work, because it looks like it's not working for a little bit. Like it just poops out and then takes off.
Yeah, the 2-stage thing. Yeah. No, that was my inspiration on those, because like you're on a cliff or whatever, so they have the space, and I'm like, yeah, like because even Gnome Face, like his took off, but like they just took off forward, and then use that momentum,
Mhm.
get the little momentum to actually like get themselves up higher.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
All right, let me know what stuff you want to see on the way back to Brockheart. But we'll call it there for this session. The group finally made it to the Hippogriff / Pegasi. We will join them next time as they arrive into Holden. And figure out where they're headed from there. They have a couple different routes that they can head back. I know of 2 offhand that is a possibility, but like we'll see what they decide. They have like 4 routes out of the city, but like it depends on which one they pick.
On our way to Tutorial City. You know that Pokemon song?
I haven't been there in a while.
It's not the name of the song, but it makes me think of that Pokemon song. Viridian City?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Viridian City, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, any last words? Whose turn is it? Manbear, it's your turn.
Nope.
Any final words for our podcast group or for us?
Nervous Bergen's turn. Not my turn.
I already picked you.
Nervous Bergen. I passed the torch.
Not on my watch.
Yep, passing the torch. Nervous Bergen's turn.
That was it. Say yes to drugs.
Yes to drugs. I think your goat would definitely agree with that slogan.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I was reading about the symptoms he's going to be having. He's not going to be using his legs for a while. Or a few organs, but we don't need to get into that.
You don't really need those this high up.
I'm just happy I don't get motion sickness. That's I've seen people. My sister does really bad. We found out. Anyways, before I continue into that, yeah. Anyways, don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, review, comment, share, and all that good stuff. Your interaction helps out a lot, and we'd like to hear back from you. So, let us know what you guys think and anything you want to hear from us. I have had an idea of doing like a behind the scenes sesh with us coming up for our podcast only or member only stuff, but we'll figure that out. So until next time, as Canervish Blurgan said, say it's the drugs. Yeah.
We're still getting sued.